But there's another reason for all those ships, as I'm sure you've guessed. And it's linked to a new seafaring habit of chucking bottles over the side. Now, it's not often a bottle changes the course of history, but this is no ordinary bottle, as you will see. Meanwhile, all that extra shipping out there, which is out there thanks to a young American naval officer who knows more about what goes on at sea than you could shake a crab net at. This guy is so hot at oceanography, like how far winds and currents will take you at particular times of the year, that one day, when an American troop ship gets hit by a gigantic storm in the Atlantic, our pal, Matthew Maury, marks a cross on the chart. And that's exactly where the rescue ship finds the survivors floating in the water days later. Pretty good, eh? Maury's able to do that X marks the spot stuff because by 1847 he spent years going through more than 1 million observations on wind and currents from piles of dusty old ships' logbooks that the Department of the Navy have hung on to but never done anything about. And that's why I'm here, in posh academic surroundings, with a bunch of people who owe their careers to the bottle, if you get my drift. And if you don't, you soon will.
Attention on deck.
Thank you. Take seats. The end result of all Maury's data collecting is basic training in every navigation class today. Basically, what Maury comes up with is a kind of roadmap of the sea, showing, well, the expressways. This is one of his best examples, the Gulf Stream. You jump on this 50-mile wide current going across the Atlantic that way, at a time of the year when Maury tells you the winds are also going that way, and you will be across the Atlantic quicker than you can say path of minimum time sailing, which is what Maury calls this trick, using winds and currents instead of a straight line to go from any A to any B, thus saving a lot of time and, more important, a lot of money. So Maury produces a book called Sailing Directions and keeps it updated because every navigator gets a free copy of this book from the US government as long as they agree to fill in a form every day of a voyage with temperature, pressure, speed and direction of wind and currents, and so on, and at certain times throw over the side a bottle, corked of course, with a bit of paper inside saying date, time and position. See? Oh, and pick up any other bottle they happen to see floating by. As a result of all this, not surprisingly, Maury becomes an international weather biggie, which is why he gets to organize the first international weather conference in Brussels in 1853, where he talks everybody into standard formats for weather charts. The other thing Maury is hot for is a weather reporting network that will use the latest wonder technology, a new gizmo called the telegraph, which of course bumps Maury into Sam Morse, well known by history for having invented the Morse code, and almost entirely forgotten by history for something else. But before we get to that, why are we doing all this about Maury here? Because this place was his idea. It's where you become a career naval officer like Maury, the United States Naval Academy. Okay, enough of the fun. Now for Sam Morse, Revelations of Thwarted Ambition and Conspiracy Theory. And where better for such revelations than the home of such revelations, Capitol Hill.